Hey, Kamiko. Hey, Bianca. Hey, Chair. What's up? I'm just trying to set this thing up real quick. Hey, Shalise. Hey, Tasia. Monique, it's Pinky with the IE. It's Pinky with the IE. And Pinky, for those who don't know, Pinky is my government name. It's on my license. That's my real name. It was my great grandmother's name. So, like, fun fact, a lot of people think it's a nickname, but it's my real name. Hey, Kimberly. Hey, Courtney. Hey, Cliff. Hey, Nye. Hey, Alexis. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Torrance. Hey, Tara. Hey, Tasia. I always miss the lives. Finally here. I'm glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here. And yes, Cliff, that is my real name. I remember growing up, people always had, their jokes. They would call me Pinky in the Brain. That was the main one. And then when I got a little older, child, they was like, there's a with the name Pinky, and I was so mad, like I was so angry about it. And yeah, people always have their nicknames, and then some people they'll be like, "So what's your real name?" And I'm like, Pinky. And if it's a dude trying to talk to me and he keep asking me, I just tell him a fake name. I'm just like, oh yeah, my name is Tiffany. Because I'm not finna sit up here and prove to you what my name is. Because I used to prove it to people. Like, look, it's on my license. This is my real name. Now I really don't care if you believe me or not. Why would I be lying about that? Your BFF's name is Pinky. It's I heard that it was a very like common name like back then, like I guess that would have been like the 1910s, 1920s. I heard it was a very popular name in the South. So I wouldn't be surprised if like older people had the name, but I don't meet too many people like around my age and younger with that name. Sometimes, rarely though. So that's cool that someone else's name is Pinky. Thank you. So y'all, tell me how y'all are feeling about this season. I know how y'all are feeling about this season because y'all tell me up under every review. Y'all make sure I know, like, y'all hate this season. And it's crazy because even when I hate the seasons, I mean, not hate it, even when y'all hate the seasons, I still am entertained. Like I can be entertained by mediocrity sometimes, like when it's just like dull, couples doing their everyday things. Like I still can find it interesting, but I really think that this time around, I feel like they were trying to do too much salacious pairing by matching up people that were not good matches, that it just made it a flop. It makes you not you want to root for at least a couple of couples. You know what I'm saying? At least you want at least two couples to root for. And then the rest, you want to see where they could have possibly made it, but maybe they didn't have the chemistry. Maybe they couldn't, maybe one person couldn't get past certain things. You know what I'm saying? You want to see where they could have made it, but they just didn't. But with this season, it's more like they just should have never been matched up in the first place for a majority of them. we don't have one strong couple. And it's like I'm rooting for. In fact, let me just bring them up. We could talk about them first. Okay. I'm rooting for Brianna and Vincent, but depending on how they deal with this child situation, depending on depending on whether Vincent learns how to communicate effectively, whether Brianna learns how to communicate with him effectively, depending on whether he can actually make his business as successful as he wants to make it. I mean, they have some factors that if they cannot get past that, they're not going to make it either. Like, especially with the kids thing, they won't last more than a couple of years. I agree. Loyal watchers are fuming while new watchers are curious. I feel like this situation with Chris and Paige made more people watch. So I think a lot of people that are like watching now or tuning in now are new, but people who have been watching since the beginning or since, at least 4 or 5 seasons, we are not amused. We are not amused because we know how this started out. We know, like, it sounds like a ridiculous concept, and every time I talk about it with somebody, they think it's ridiculous. Even my grandmother, she refused to watch the show in the beginning because she thought it was a ridiculous concept, but eventually I pulled her in. So it's already a ridiculous concept, and then you make it a circus when you bring in somebody like Chris. And then you make it even worse when you don't even have couples that were good matches. If y'all went to Atlanta and y'all couldn't find people that were actually good matches for one another, y'all should have went somewhere else. Y'all should have just went somewhere else. Like, y'all didn't see nobody. Okay, these people will not match up well. We just gonna have to try again another time. Y'all already did Atlanta. Why don't y'all go somewhere else? And all the while prepping for the next. That's the other thing. I feel like they don't even focus on. Thank you for bringing that up. They don't even focus on what they're doing. It's like they be on to the next season in the middle of this season. These people still need help. Thank God they brought the experts in more this season. I feel like we did see the experts more this season, but I think it's because y'all knew y'all jacked up these matches. So y'all knew y'all had to come in here and do some damage control. Mind you, this is the 3rd time they're in Atlanta. Right. And no shade to anybody that lives in Atlanta, but I heard that Atlanta is not a good place to find your husband or wife. That's what I heard. I heard it's hard to find somebody decent there. And that's no shade to nobody living there, because, you could be ready and then you run into somebody that you think is ready and they ain't. I think they should go to like more, not smaller towns, but you know what I mean, somewhere where Atlanta is like too much hustle and bustle, too many. It's like a hub where too many people are. I think they need to go, like someone said, did somebody say North Carolina? Oh no, you said NYC. That would be good too. Or like maybe go somewhere like, didn't they go to North Carolina? Go somewhere like, I guess they can't go to Middle America because we probably wouldn't have no Black people on the show. Oh, they already have Pastor Cal and Dr. Viviana on Unmatchables. Exactly. They got too much going on to focus on what they're doing. Because best believe, if Unmatchables is about to come on TV, that means they were filming that around the same time they were filming this season. So we can't even have their full undivided attention because they're over here filming another show. Memphis, that would be a good place. They need to do it in Seattle. Dr. Pepper can be the main expert. That would be nice. I think it's easy for a man to find a woman compared to a woman finding a man in Atlanta. I could see that too. Especially when you're talking about Black people, it's always easier for the man to find a woman. Yes, Vinny buys a new car. I was surprised to see Vinny. So is he making money? I really don't know. Cleveland, Ohio. Perhaps they are selecting cities based on marriage laws in the state. Okay, that's a good point. That's a good point. Come back to North Carolina. I need a man. I wouldn't do this show though. Too many failures, right? You know I'd like it to be in Memphis. I know Charity would. Charity's from Memphis. Oh, you live in Ohio? Okay. They're going to Houston and then again to Boston. I mean, I'm not too mad at that. I just think they need to, stay away from Atlanta right now. Because I feel like Atlanta, they just didn't have the best results. Yeah, because California is hard to get a divorce and the laws are insane. Okay. So okay, let's go ahead and let's talk about Von Ree, who is LaToya's new fake boyfriend, bought Vinny a car or bought a car from Vinny? Ready to Love is coming to the DMV. Okay, y'all. Once I get done with this live, I will be doing a Ready to Love live after this. So just in case y'all watch the show, just know I'm going live after this to talk about Ready to Love. On Little Black Book, they had a discussion on whether Brie is a colorist. What? I'm gonna have to watch that. Which one is that? Do you think the results are because of production storyline? Could be. That definitely could have something to do with it. They need to double back to Miami. Von Ree bought a Range Rover on YouTube from Vinny. Okay. Well, at least Vinny is, at least he's, making that money. I'm sure that was a good look, to have someone popular buy something from him. I'm gonna have to watch that. They did because apparently she wanted a tan man. I would have to. I'm gonna have to watch that because I didn't know she asked for a tan man. The show is good exposure for his business. He's gonna be sleeping in more often. She requested a light-skinned man. Ciao. But it looked like he was a regular car salesman at a dealership, not a car broker. Well, maybe he's, using that to get his customers. I don't know, child. Like, I don't know, because I really don't even know. I would have to know the exact details because I don't remember her saying that. So I'm just gonna have to do my research before I speak on that any further because I really don't know. But if she did, that's kind of like, girl. I mean, if that was a Black man saying that, we would really be going in now. So I have to make sure she said that. Hey, Lexi. So overall for Vincent and Brianna, what do y'all think? So what do y'all think about her being, you know, she said that she didn't mind having biological children. She's just scared to do it. So what do y'all think about the conversation about adoption though? Like Dr. Pepper asked, like, how would you feel if she wasn't able to carry a child? And I would even throw in there, like, how do we even know Vincent is able to produce children? Like, how would y'all, either one of y'all, feel if you're not able for whatever reason to have children, so you might have to adopt? He seems like he's against it, but that doesn't mean he'll always be against it. Vinny ain't with adoption. I know, like, the last time I said something about this, you know, some people got offended. But I mean, I just feel like for whatever reason, there's a stigma on adoption, and a lot of people are just totally against it. And I'm just like, why? There's so many children that need a home. They really should adopt. There are so many Black babies that need homes. Exactly. Why do these couples wait so late in the process before talking about serious topics? Brianna could get a surrogate. Exactly. And you could do surrogacy. She got the money for it. Why do these she needs to let him sleep and Vinny wants biological children? Well, that kind of summed it up. He's not responding to her, or are they editing his responses out? I feel like we always see him just sitting and listening to Brianna, trying not to get mad. I feel like he's not, because she's mentioned in the past she wished that he would say how he felt in the moment. But Brianna also, when she says certain things and when they talk about certain things, she says it's so definite. It's like she doesn't leave it open for conversation. And I don't know if she realizes that she does that, or maybe, you know, that rubs in the wrong way. I don't know. But she does say things very like definite, like, you're not going to change my mind almost. And it's like, well, why even try? So I feel like both of them need to learn how to communicate with one another. You're right. I used to work in foster care, and there are many children who need stable parents. I mean, I just know, just in my church, there was like this couple that could not have a child, and so they adopted. And you know, it's just like a beautiful thing. You don't even look at their child as adopted. Like, I don't even look, they embrace her so much you can't even tell. She even looks like she's related to them low key. So it's like I've always had a positive outlook on adoption, because I saw it from an early age be such an amazing, beautiful thing. Kinship adoption is very common with foreigners, first generation person speaking. So maybe a family member. That could be an option too. I mean, low-key, Vinny was adopted, so that's why I don't understand, like, you know, why he's so against it. Didn't he say his aunt took care of him? Yes, Vincent was not supportive of Brianna's health issues. It's okay for him to harp on her bossiness, but he has plenty of issues for her to be concerned about. True. I would be against it if my wife could have kids. Adoption is cool. However, they are not your legacy. The kid won't. They will be your legacy, though, Cliff. If you, you know, yes, they will. Like, what you mean? They will. They will be if you adopt them. They'll be your child, and you'll treat them that way. And like, you can have biological children, and you can also have adopted children. People do it all the time. But I mean, if that's something you don't want to do, I would rather you not do it if you really truly don't want to do it, because I don't want a child living in a house where they're not wanted. So, you know, I wouldn't want to force anybody to do it either. Kids and religion are two things the experts shouldn't be flexible on. I totally agree. That's a deal breaker. That is a deal breaker. I also think some people during the process are not completely honest or feel pressured to say a certain answer because it sounds good or because they don't want to look bad. You know what I'm saying? For instance, Jamie and Elizabeth. I don't know if y'all remember a couple of seasons ago, Jamie and Elizabeth, both of them said during their process that they were, you know, iffy about children. They were 50-50 whether they want to have children or not, when really neither one of them wanted children. And yes, it turned out to be all right because both of y'all got matched with one another, and so therefore it didn't matter at the end of the day, because neither one of y'all want children. But what if one of y'all would have got matched with someone who did want children? So, you know, I feel like sometimes people are not completely honest in their interviews, and so that messes it up for the next person. So I'm not going to put it completely on the experts. I'll put it on some on the contestants too, because sometimes they're not completely honest. And I think if you're going to do this, you have to be. Some of my relatives are adopted, and it makes no difference how you got in the family. You're still family. Exactly. I would be afraid to be the adoptive child. I would be afraid the adoptive child would want to find their family of origin. If you spend the time, money, and energy to raise the child, then look for their family, I would feel some way. I mean, I don't see the problem with that though. Like, if they want to find their adoptive family, that doesn't X you out. That doesn't X out anything that you did. You're still their dominant parent. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time when I see situations like that where they do find their adoptive parent, it's not like that parent becomes their parent again. You know what I'm saying? They might have some sort of relationship with them, but it's not necessarily a parent, you know, child parent, you know, son or daughter situation. It's more like maybe a friendship or something. And sometimes when they find their adoptive parent, they don't even want nothing to do with them. I've seen that too. Jamie and Elizabeth said on their YouTube channel they would be in favor of having a child. They have changed their mind on the issue, especially with counseling. They are in a better place. Well, that's good to hear, but you know, at the end of the day, that could have not happened. You know what I'm saying? They could have both decided, you know, we don't want kids, and then or one could have changed their mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I'm saying you just got to be honest during this process. The finance stuff needs to get straight before the kids conversation. Either way, it can be expensive. Bed rest during pregnancy, possible infertility expenses, adoption fees, surrogate costs. I totally agree, Kimberly. Okay, y'all, let's move on because I don't want to get stuck here because we have way more to talk about. Biological children aren't a guarantee of a future relationship. Plenty cut off their families. So the idea of only biological kids being legacy is weird to me. That's a great point, Cassidy. That's a great point. Okay, let's move on to these two that I just do not understand. I don't understand either one of them at this point. Because if I was Clara, look, we gonna have to have this conversation. He probably gonna get mad at me. He probably, you know, but we gonna have this conversation because I'm not playing with you. And why didn't we see Ryan's family? Why didn't we get any of Ryan's background other than him saying he was a very sensitive child? Like, I'm sorry, did I miss where he showed his pictures? Did I miss where he talked about, you know, his childhood? Did I miss that? Like, why didn't we see any? Because I need to know, Ryan. You are a mystery right now. We need some sort of explanation for what's going on here. The scene with Ryan's family was cut. Why did they do that? Now, see, that's finna make me mad. Y'all have 2 hours. Y'all drag us by our scalp through these 2 hours. And y'all don't even show us no, we should no. That's gonna make me mad because we deserve to see his background. If I got to see anybody's background, if I got to see anybody's pictures, I want to see Ryan's. The pictures before the perm, exactly. What is going on here? Ryan is a robot. Look under his hair. Ryan didn't want to be seen with 4C hair. Oh, okay, let me gather myself. That was hilarious. Y'all are taking me out. Imagine if you come to the reunion with a fade. Ryan, just please go to the barbershop with your brother, because I know you're not going to a black one. Go to the black barbershop and let's grow it out. Let's go natural. Let's go natural. Let's do the big chop. Let's, you know what I'm saying? Let's embrace your texture, okay? Everybody doesn't have loose curly hair, okay? Up under here, I have type 4 hair. Okay? We can embrace it. We can embrace it. I have so many videos on my channel. We can work on it. Oh my goodness. Get that mustache trim. Yeah, I saw that he got the turned up mustache. Child. Let that fro flow. It's so crazy that he's so different from his brother. It is. Because his brother, like, y'all told me that he worked on the 85 South show. And I just don't see somebody that acts like Ryan working for the 85 South show. I think you have to be, you know, swerved into that hood lane a little bit. And so that's kind of odd to me that his brother is so like he's in a completely different lane on the highway. And Ryan is like going the other way, like on the other side of the 4-lane highway. It's crazy. Maybe they got different daddies. I don't know. They very well could, because they didn't show us nothing about Ryan really. We've seen his family at the wedding, and that's pretty much it. We've gotten to see, like, now honestly, I'm gonna be real, we haven't seen too much of the families this season. That could be because of C19, but we've seen other people's family life a little bit more than Ryan's. We haven't really seen too much of like Jacob's either, now that I think about it, but at least he brought pictures and stuff. We got to see it. Like, they didn't really give us much on Ryan's background. I'm not gonna harp on it. He has to wear those shirts so he doesn't forget he's black. I've been seeing him wear these pro black shirts. I've been seeing him. Maybe his brother has been like, getting him to, embrace that. Ooh, pro black sleeps white. That's not an uncommon thing. That's not uncommon. That's actually pretty common. But okay, so let's just we talked about everything else. How do y'all feel about this situation? I just feel like it's just more of the same with them. We didn't really progress much. It's pretty much their relationship is in the same place it's been for the last however long. because Clara, she'll speak up a teeny bit, but I'm gonna need for her to use a megaphone and say what's on her mind. Okay, I'm tired. Because this is half your fault at this point, Clara. You acting like Paige a little bit. Tired of them lying. And the crazy part is, I feel like Ryan is so delusional, he feels like he's telling the truth. Clara is the one that's really being deceptive and trying to act like her marriage is a 10 out of 10. No, ma'am. A 10 out of 10? No. If that's a 10, I'm not trying to get married. Yes. Clara needs to stop giving and receiving. I said a long time ago she needs to protest and boycott. Tired of the lies and delusion. Ryan wants to keep up appearances. He will cave into her once the cameras are gone. You think so? They're hiding things. I agree. We wouldn't even know that Clara was giving and not receiving had it not been for that secret security camera in the corner. Okay? Because you best believe I doubt Clara knew she was being recorded. So we probably would not have even known this. In the beginning, she was so outspoken. I know. He is low-key dimming her light. In the beginning, I thought, well, maybe he's just, maybe he's just keeping her from doing too much, because that whole situation with Chris and them kind of overstepping their boundaries. I thought maybe he was like, just kind of like being like her opposite and kind of like, taming her a little bit. You know what I mean? Like sometimes people do a little bit too much when they're outspoken and being people business, but I do see him, he's kind of being a little bit controlling. And if they both agree to not do something, that's fine. If they both agree not to talk about something, that's fine. But she's like really, really holding herself back a lot in many ways. Ryan is being honest. His marriage is great. Clara, what'd you say, Cliff? Clara's marriage need work. Shut up, Cliff. Ryan and Clara both compromising for their preference. Yep. I said that in the beginning too. I said they are both, because they got what they want visually, like physically, they're like willing to overlook so much because they got what they wanted physically. But at the end of the day, y'all are not compatible. Clara thinks Ryan is the best she can do, and Ryan thinks he can do better than Clara. I've seen that sentiment. From some people in the comments that think that he thinks he's better than her. And I could see that. Maybe he was expecting a different type of whiteness. I'm gonna tell y'all, the white girls that tend to like black men, they a little bit different from the white girls that like white men. So that's all I'm gonna say. Brian knows how to fake it until decision day. So y'all think he's not into her? I still think it's trash that he's receiving and not giving, though. Like this whole situation, I'll be talking about this situation completely different if that wasn't going on. If I didn't know that, I would just be like, well, he has a right to wait. But Ryan wanted a Jennifer Aniston. No, he don't like her like that, or he's a virgin. Clara, not all that. Y'all acting like he got a dime piece. I don't think Clara is. I look, to each his own. I'm not even finna get into her looks. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about let's get them out the way. When I tell y'all they get on my last nerve, I'm sorry, I had to let that out. Let me drink some water. Y'all, I promise whenever they come on the screen, I hate when the episode is mainly centered around them. Calm down. Because they irritate me so bad. And it's not just Haley, because even though I'm more so on Jacob's side, Jacob get on my nerves too. Jacob get on my nerves too, because I just want one of them to just say, I don't want, look, let's just end it here. That's what I want. And it's not happening. So it's just like, y'all are going through the motions and it's so annoying. Y'all clearly. And I think if Jacob was getting more from Haley, he would give more and we would get to see more of his personality. Because clearly, y'all not finna sit up here and tell me that Jacob don't have a personality. Him wearing those shorts that he wore to his company picnic tells me he has plenty of personality. And then when we see him with other people, he has personality. But how can you joke around? How can you have fun and mingle and, talk with someone who doesn't want to talk to you? And then Haley, I really don't understand why you here, girl. You really you're not interested whatsoever. You're giving nothing. And then you're trying to put all the blame on him when really it's you. It's you. Entitled and rude. Somebody called her a Karen. Haley and her sarcastic comments. She is so passive aggressive. Oh my goodness. She is so passive aggressive. You can literally see the fire behind her eyes when she's angry and she's trying to hold back. You could literally see it. Like she's trying to be straight faced, but it's coming through, girl. We can see it. We can see it. They can go with Paige and Chris. I remember someone saying Haley is the female Chris. She's not to that degree. I don't want to take her all the way there. I feel like they have a similar attitude, but she thinks the thing is she doesn't think she's even close to Chris, and you are you're just passive. You're like the passive aggressive version of Chris. Yes, on the couch when she told Dr. Pepper, when Dr. Pepper was there, you could so see it in her face. Like she looked like she was holding back so much anger that Dr. Pepper wasn't on her side and that she was looked at as the person that was in the wrong. She won't take accountability for nothing. Like when she was sitting there going I was like, girl, please express yourself before you pop a blood vessel. Girl. She got them Karen eyes, be ready to bust at the seams and say something smart. I know that passive aggression is a manipulation tactic. She has the potential to be emotionally abusive. I could see that. I definitely could. She stay crying when she don't get her way. Because you are not crying. You're not crying for the reason that you say you're crying. You're not crying because I'm just trying. No, you're crying because you are manipulating. That's manipulation, to start crying when you don't get your way, or to try to turn the situation around because you're crying. Let's go ahead and talk about this bracelet because I don't want to stay on there for too much longer. She is dead wrong for giving her mama that bracelet, for not even opening the bracelet and seeing that it was a necklace, for him spending $800. He spent $800 on this bracelet and you sent it on with your mom, you wouldn't even hold on to it? Like, that is so trash. And then whenever he brings it up to you, well, it didn't even cross my mind. That's the problem. That's the problem. So yes, I would ask for it back. I'm sorry. I spent $800 on a gift and you gave it to your mom. Oh yes, I am going to ask for that back. Usually I think it's very, very petty when men ask for gifts back. I think that's trifling. But in this case, you didn't even take it out the box and you sent it on with your mom. Oh no. Oh no. I want it back. I sure do. Tell her to FedEx. I tell her to UPS it. Okay? Yes. I don't care if the bracelet didn't match her dress. She could have worn it down the aisle. The thing about it, I can understand if it was a necklace and she did have a high neck dress. I could understand not wanting to wear that with the dress. But it was a bracelet and she didn't even open it, and she could have worn it. She could have worn it. She could have worn it to the honeymoon night. They had to change at some point. She could have worn it to the honeymoon night. Like, look, at some point, aren't you going to thank him for the gift that he gave you? Now I'm really getting mad because she should have at some point thanked him for the necklace by wearing it. At least, like, yeah, like at least thank you. She couldn't even do the bare minimum. Oh no. Oh no. Me too. This is the only exception where I condone gift repossession. $800. And you know what, Haley? At the end of the day, I really think this is a huge mistake. He spent $800 on a piece of jewelry for you. Girl, the shopping sprees. And I'm not saying stay with somebody for the money, but that would make me reconsider. That would make me, maybe I need to actually see, maybe there's something in this man. He got a nice house. I mean, we talked about this before, but he got a nice house. He got a good job. You know how many women would love to run into a man like Jacob? He ain't even stingy. Like, you know he gonna pay the bills. Pinky, just leave it alone. Haley gonna only do what she wants to do. Haley hasn't cared since first sight, leaving the $800 bracelet anywhere but on my wrist. Oh dang, lost the comment. I lost it. Sorry. He didn't ask for it back, but should have. He was mad because the bracelet wasn't there. Yeah, he just wanted her to have it in her possession. Like, it should be here. But I think him giving that hat back, I think that was him saying, yeah, I want the bracelet back now. He may be a little quirky, but I actually think he would be a great catch for the right woman. Me too. There's a certain type of privilege while Brianna and Mika get struggle up. Right. That's a good point, Disco Sprinkles. Can you say entitled? She doesn't want to admit that after they were intimate, she was no longer interested in his personality, his love for the 80s, or fashion sense. I wish she would just be honest. Because, I mean, I really feel like when you trace it back, that's probably what happened. And just be honest and stop dragging this man on and, like, making him feel like there's an opportunity when you're not giving him one. You're not. You're not giving him a chance. You're not trying. Every time y'all supposedly reset, you never open up. You pretend to be vulnerable, but you never actually are. And Haley is shallow. He doesn't fit her aesthetic, so she was checked out from the start. I told y'all on my review that she wants a frat boy all grown up, basically. That's what she wants. She wants somebody that hunts and, you know, wears the white boy shades, and that's what she wants. And I hope Jacob find a woman that will appreciate him, because this is ridiculous. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and move on to Haley and not Haley. Let's go ahead and move on to Torrance. You crack up with the white boy sunglasses every time. Bermuda shorts and Sperry's. She wants somebody that wears the same thing every day. I promise, when I was in college, those boys, the frat boys, the white frat boys and the white sorority girls, they wore the same. Not only did they wear the same thing, they wore the same thing as one another. Like, they wore the same uniform, if you will. Like, one year it was like a particular Nike set of Nike shorts, and then they wore their, you know, shirts with their letters on them, and then they wore the same sneakers. It's like, I feel like that's what she wants, someone who dresses like everybody else. Just because Jacob has his own style, like, what's wrong with that? Anyway, let's move on, because they irritate me too bad. Virginia and Eric look alike. Eric's sister-in-law looks like his mom to me. His family probably loves her, because I could tell she falls in line. And if that's what she wants to do, that's fine. But I can tell you right now, that ain't gonna be Virginia. I think she called her friends and told them they slept together. Oh, I ain't gonna read all of it. What are your thoughts on Eric's sister-in-law? I mean, I feel like the sister knows what she needs to do to remain married, and she doesn't mind, you know, living in those boundaries. They seem to have the same, you know, she has the same values as their family. Virginia doesn't, so it's not going to be a good fit. Vodka and Eric. Why did I call him Erica? They look alike to y'all. Let me look at them. A little bit. He almost looked like her dad. He definitely trying to act like it. Eric is way too controlling. Yes. And I think because he's so controlling, and he has those controlling ways, when he does have a valid complaint or a valid concern, she's not trying to hear it, because he tries to control every other aspect of her life. Now, Virginia be dead wrong. She be dead wrong about stuff too. No, you should not be out with these male friends all the time without Eric, and no, you shouldn't be spending the night over their house. You'd sign up to get married. I don't think she realizes what marriage entails. I don't think she's ready to be married. Period. Eric wants a submissive wife. Yes. And I don't think that Virginia wants to be submissive. Eric never heard of the word ultimatum until the last. I think he has heard of the word ultimatum. I think he's tired of hearing people say, well, stop giving me ultimatums. And so that's why he don't want nobody to say that now, because that's all he do is give ultimatums. There are 138 people in the room, you guys. Make sure you leave a like on this video. Where are her female friends? Exactly. When she said that her friends were number one in her life over Eric, that's when I really knew. I was like, yeah, girl, you're not ready to be married, because it don't even matter. It don't matter if you married to Eric or not. Like, your husband should be your number one. Y'all are one now. When you get married, you become one. And so therefore, your husband should be your number one. The same way you should be his number one. Like, how would you feel if he put another woman before you? Eric needs a nice debutante old maid. He will get everything he desired. Someone said if he got matched up with Paige, they would have been a perfect match. The only thing is her skin tone. I don't think his family don't seem like he would be here for that. But her attitude is the exact attitude that he's looking for in a woman. Someone that will go along with absolutely anything, with no question. These people don't know what they want. He said he wants an independent woman and then says she's too independent. Men always say they want an independent woman, but then they'll say things like, but I want you to need me. I want you to depend on me for things. I want, right. Which one is it? Like, men, they do want you to need them for things. I think very few men actually want an independent woman. He definitely wants a traditional woman. The issue is she wore divorce makeup on their wedding. Why was her makeup so... Usually women on their wedding day, they wear very light, like nude, very light makeup. She wore like heavy, like New Year's Eve, I'm partying all night makeup. If a black girl came down that aisle, Eric would have flew his plane out of there. Okay. Oh, somebody said Eric is MAGA, no black, maybe Asian, but no black. I could see him getting with an Asian woman because, you know, he Asian women have that submissive stereotype. But I've been hearing on TikTok, they do not appreciate that. Okay, they do not appreciate that submissive stereotype, and they're not going for that anymore. That's what I heard. Oh, would she be drinking long, and would they be drinking long term for their marriage? I really do think Virginia has some issues, like drinking issues. I think her anxiety and whatever she went through in her childhood, we already know her childhood was rocky. I think she needs help working through that, and I think she uses alcohol to cope. She's self-medicating with the alcohol, and what she doesn't realize is that her drinking alcohol is making her anxiety worse because alcohol aggravates her anxiety. It just makes you feel it even more. Like when you come down, it's like even more. So both of them have a drinking problem because he's an angry drunk, apparently. I don't think he needs to drink, and I don't think he normally drinks that much. But I don't think he needs to drink either, because that's when he lets out his true emotions on her and he just completely unleashes on her. Like, believe it or not, I do think Eric probably really does hold back when he's not drunk, but when he is drunk, I think he just let her have it. And either way, he dead wrong. And I don't think Eric's ready to be married either. I don't think neither one of them are ready to be married. I think he's too controlling. He gives out too many ultimatums. He treats her like that's his child. And I'm not here for it. The only thing she depended on is that alcohol. Ooh. If Virginia keeps this up, she'll be married to the bottom. And I just would hate to see that for her, because she is so vibrant. You know, she's vibrant. She looks like she, you know, has so much life. Like she wants to really, you know, like she has so much to life to live and so much to give someone, I'm sure. But child, that drinking it's gonna spiral. It's gonna spiral eventually. Thank you. Thank you, The Unknown, for liking my earrings. They're from my website. Check them out. He scares me when he's drinking. And look, people lose control when they get drunk too. So I wouldn't be surprised if they got into it so bad, something bad happened. So I just think they need to leave each other alone. And I could see it happening because she don't back down. She don't back down. Like she might leave, but she don't back down. She don't change her opinion for him. I think the problem is when people cannot stop drinking. Like when Eric was like, well, maybe one weekend we you know, maybe we won't drink, and she just wouldn't even have the conversation. That's when it's a problem. If you can't not drink, that's a problem. That shows a dependency. Imagine mean Eric and mean Haley. You know what? They might have been a perfect match. Shoot. Then again, nah, Haley like to do what she want to do. She like to do what she want to do. When he was drunk, he was like, "You're lucky this is all I'm going to do." I do know, like, now I'm not saying Virginia is to this point. It don't seem like she's to this point, but I do know, like, when you're an alcoholic and you drink all the time, you can't just go cold turkey, because what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for, y'all, for when people stop doing a drug or drinking? Like the after effects. I can't think of the word. But withdrawal, thank you. The withdrawal is so strong that could actually take you out of here. You know what I'm saying? So they have to give you certain things and like wean you off and detox and things like that. I'm not saying that Virginia is to that point. I don't think she's at that point. But I do know, like, if you do get to that point, it's hard to go cold turkey because you can really hurt yourself doing that. Yeah, for alcohol. Right. I'm gonna put this up on the screen. I don't want to say it because I don't want to get demonetized, y'all. But yes, withdrawals can be tough with anything. I'm telling y'all, I tried to stop. When I stopped having to eat sugar, like, not like any, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not the natural sugars from like fruit and stuff like that. But when I stopped eating like candy and like even bread, I gave up bread. I had to give up bread. It was hard. It was hard. So I can only imagine like something like alcohol. You could get alcohol poisoning. Well, I don't mean to end on a sad note, you guys. I don't mean processed food, exactly. When you give up processed foods, you can have withdrawal. Seriously. But let me get off of here because I want to hop on my next live. I want to do Ready to Love. So I'm gonna jump off of this live, you guys. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you for 133 people in here. If you like Ready to Love, or if you're just interested, tune into my live. I'm gonna jump on right after this one. And yeah, I will see you in a couple of minutes.